All right. Hey, Crown Council members, Stuart Anderson here for the Crown Council live stream. This is our opportunity to connect with the Crown Council community, both our members, our resource partners, our live events, and everything that is happening to engage with the Crown. This is just a fun program that we've been doing now for 2 years, where we reach out and connect with all the people and all the things that are happening in this awesome community. So today we're going to have some incredible guests, as well as learn a few things from some of our best practices. So to kick off, I wanted to share my screen and just give a couple updates and go through a little housekeeping for the Smiles for Life Whitening campaign. You are looking at crowncouncil.com. This is the hub for all of our Crown Council members. And you'll see My Directory. When you go to My Directory, you'll also see the Premium Member Hub. If you click there, we're going to navigate to the weekly Smiles for Life Champions, or our campaign results that are updated every week for everybody who is doing the Smiles for Life campaign. So you can see, since we've started, we're almost at $500,000 of donations so far. These are our top offices who are donating to the Smiles for Life Whitening. And every day, this office, our office, Crown Council, is so busy with receipts coming in from patients. We're shipping out T-shirts, the pink T-shirts for Smiles for Life. People are still signing up, so we're sending out marketing boxes. And this is an awesome year, as is every year, to be involved with the Smiles for Life Whitening campaign. So big kudos and thumbs up, some recognition to these practices who are making it work. One of the most prolific generators of new patients, the Smiles for Life Whitening campaign. A big shout out to our partner Ultradent, who provide all of the whitening supplies to the Smiles for Life Whitening campaign. Absolutely impossible for us to do this program without Ultradent. So thank you, and thank you for your partnership and everything you do to make it possible. So this office, Crown Council, is here to help you in any way with your Smiles for Life campaign. Obviously, we have helped and been part of many Smiles for Life Whitening campaigns. So if you have any questions on how to be successful, how to run your own campaign, and what to do, we are here and are happy to help in any way. All right, we're going to cut away, and we are going to go meet one of our TOPS practice advisors, Tanya, who is in the practice of Just for Grins. Dr. Kristen and John Angwin. We're grateful for them and thankful that they can join us remotely. And we're going to learn just a little bit about their practice, what they're doing for Smiles for Life, and one of the neatest things that they're doing, which is earn your seat to the Crown Council 30th annual event. So we're going to share a little bit of information about earning your seat and your team earning their seat to the 30th annual event. So let's go over to the Angwins and Tanya Bailey. Okay, welcome to Crown Council Live. Stuart Anderson here. If you don't know what we're doing in this part of the segment, obviously we're connecting with some of our incredible Crown Council teams to hear what they're doing, to hear how they're training, and especially to hear just some stories that are working in their own practice. And Tanya, welcome.
Thank you.
Could you please introduce where you are today?
I am so excited to introduce you to this team. So I'm here today, first of all, with my colleague, Christy Larson.
Hey, Christy.
Their TOPS practice coach. And we are here in Keller, Texas at the amazing practice of Just for Grins with Dr. Kristen Angwin.
Hi, Kristen.
The other doctors are busy working out in the rest of the practice today. And then their amazing office manager, Laura Justice.
Hi, Laura.
And I just was so excited to share something that I think everybody in the Crown Council will appreciate. Probably one of the most common questions I get out in the field coaching is, how can we set it up to bring our whole team to the annual event and have them be a part of earning their seat?
What a great question.
Yes. And when Dr. Kristen and Dr. Jonathan Angwin and Laura were at the annual event in Austin, Texas this year, we had a little conversation about what that could look like. And I shared with Dr. Kristen this morning, she doesn't know how to do anything halfway or partway.
That was a dangerous phrase there at the beginning. I'm like, whoa.
They just took it all the way across the finish line, and I'm not even going to try to explain it. I would love for Dr. Kristen and Laura to explain what
Yes.
they've done. We've got a little poster board here to
Okay.
help the team earn their seat to Frisco, Texas next year.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so I can't take all the credit. I did reach out and I asked that question. I said, how do your practices create a environment where people can earn their seat to the Crown Council? So I did hear from other Crown Council members. We're recreating here where I'm not creating it from scratch, but
I think there's a very famous phrase, Kristen, for that. It's called copy genius.
yeah, so we're being genius here. We're just tweaking a little bit and making it fun. So
Nice.
what we did, we created a board where everyone that's interested in going can put their name on the board, and they have five different things that they have to accomplish in order to be able to go. And we bought 10 tickets when we were at Crown Council for our office. We have a staff of almost 40, so the first 10 people to accomplish 5 items on our list will be the ones that get tickets.
Oh, that's so fun.
So it was fun. We made our list. There's 10 items on the list of things that they can do to earn their seat. Like number 1 says, help your patients have the Disneyland experience, receive 5 raving written reviews from patients you have wowed. Be a willing wit, whatever it takes, team member, have a positive attitude, and being happy to do it is vital. And it just says if you've gone to like a job fair, tooth talks, or other things outside of the office to help promote not only either patients coming in or helping us gain new team members, then that can count as one of their items. So we have a whole list, 10 different things on it, and as they accomplish those items, then we mark it off of our board.
But
We had a lot of running employees that were trying to hurry and figure out how they could fill their five holes or slots the fastest.
In
So it
fact,
was super fun.
yes, one employee got all 5 of her reviews in 1 week.
yes, that's good though,
Right.
right?
Wow.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yep.
that's great.
Yeah. So super.
So the board is really
Can we
fun.
bring the board closer?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to see how cool it looks. It's so cool.
So Laura made it cute with some Smiles for Life and Crown Council little stickers up here, but they each of their 5 things, and we have one that's already on to number 4. So she only needs one more and she's earned her seat
Oh
in
my goodness.
weeks. So, but they have done a great job and they're super excited. We showed some of the videos. We showed Amy Purdy doing her dancing on Dancing with the Stars. And we did the Oprah interview
Yes,
with
Sean Aker.
Sean Aker. Yes, we showed the Sean Aker Oprah interview and they watched all of it and were super excited. So it helped motivate them.
And if that's not enough, I
Mhm.
asked Laura to share 2 other things they do. One of the things that I've always admired about Dr. Jonathan and Dr. Kristen Engwin is their commitment to creating a culture of success. And they're always working on it. Every time I come here, they're doing something else to really promote their culture. You can see on their wall, they have their custom service value card. What you can't see out of the video is a woot woot board. But when I came in this morning, they had 2 new things that I wanted Laura to talk about. So will you
Yes.
bring that
I'm
closer
gonna
and
bring it
share?
closer. Dr. Kristen made this. Dr. Kristen's very creative. She made the board. She made this box. It's super cute. This is one of the ideas in Sean Aker's book to create more happiness in your life. And it is doing a scan 24 hours previous of things that you're grateful for. We asked everybody to be thinking like on their way in from or to work, that 3 things that they're grateful for. One thing being work related, and their work related item, we wanted them to write it on a card and then put it in the box. And then at our half-day staff meetings, we'll pull out a few and read those so that we can remember what people were grateful for and share.
Nice.
Spread the happiness. And then the other thing that we did is another part of his book too was writing either like a text or an email or sending a card. So Dr. Kristen got these really cute cards and and you can write a patient a note, a teenager in braces, just encouragement, or a patient that you just really want to show an extra appreciation to, write them a note, sign your name, mail it to them that day. That is one of the things on the board. You can actually not win a square, but put on the board for that is sending out these gratitude cards to patient. Again, just spreading happiness, and patients have responded really well to these cards. They really appreciate
So
them.
good.
Super fun.
They're
Love
so
it.
amazing.
You guys are so awesome. The service values card, can we talk more about it up there?
Yes,
Sure.
we
So
sure can.
for practices that have no idea what this is, can you
Yeah.
explain what it is and how it was created?
Absolutely.
Thanks.
So one of the things we do with all of the clients we work with is really get into the nitty gritty or what is their service value promise that they make to their patients. And so on that service value card, they have a promise, which there says every person, every time. They have a motto, which is make each patient's dental experience the best it can be. And then they have their personal philosophy, which is, this is a purpose statement. If you've ever heard Steve Anderson talk, you've heard him talk about purpose. So theirs is to serve our patients' dental health needs in comfortable, friendly atmosphere. Being kind and caring is essential. And then they have what's called their simple steps of service. So
Okay.
their simple steps of service are courtesy and friendliness, trust, comfort, and quality. And then lastly, we attach the values to the actual actions. So what are the actionable things that they can do that example their actual steps of service? So you see under courtesy, it's simple things. Know and use the patient's name, smile, say please and thank you, action your tone of voice. And so each one has that. And so this is a blown up version that's on the wall. And then each team member actually has a card that they can
Nice.
carry on their person. And the idea is that we become, more like what we focus on, the law of focus. So this is really just a physical expression of who the people in this practice are, because organizations aren't buildings, they're people.
Very cool.
Did
And
I
did you guys create it as a team? Did everybody create it together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the, things that we love to do as coaches when we're working with an organization is to really help them create that. And then we actually get it printed for them and send them their cards so that manifests itself. And it's kind of weaved throughout everything that we're training and coaching on. The creating the culture of success is foundational to the practice success financially. So we always start with service, values, and culture.
Man, you guys are like A+, like
They
A++.
are. They are. Best of the best.
Best of the best. Very good. And what are you guys working on today, Tanya? What other things are you guys training and coaching?
Oh, wow. So that's such a great question. So this is a fairly large practice. How many operatories are out there? They've lost count.
75.
Not yet.
24-ish.
24. So Christy and I are working around the practice today doing what we call hands-on coaching. So just working side by side with the team,
Okay.
helping them, supporting them, giving feedback. So Christy's actually been working out front with their treatment coordinator team. They have a team of about, I think, 5 out there today, and we're working on that. And then Laura and I were working this morning just on some specific feedback systems for team members. And then Dr. Kristen's been doing dentistry.
What a surprise.
Yeah. So that's what we've got so far. Tomorrow this is actually, you can't see this whole room, but this is a really big, they have a really nice, huge training room. So tomorrow we're really going to be diving into a fan favorite of the new patient relationship form.
Okay.
And how we link that information with the relationship link from each team member to team member to team member.
Nice. Very good. Kristen, this question specifically for you. Right now, we have a couple hundred brand new offices doing Smiles for Life for their first time. What advice would you give to any practice, new or even old, that is doing Smiles for Life whitening?
Trust the process. When we first started, my husband had a very high goals with Smiles for Life. and I thought he was crazy. But when you get your team involved and you get everyone excited about it, and I mean, when you're first starting out, you're looking at overhead and you're looking at numbers and you're like, can I really do this? But you can. And when the team's involved in it, it all works out. So trust it, know that it's going to work out in the end. And when you're doing good, it all works out. So, when he had that high goal, and I thought, oh my goodness, how are we going to do this? We're a brand new practice, but he exceeded that goal that first year, and I was shocked. But ever since then, I haven't questioned his goal.
Nice. Hey, very good. Thank you. Very
Yeah.
good. Tanya, what else? What are we missing? Is that what else can we do?
I could talk about this amazing practice all day.
Okay. Share
but-
one more thing. Can you share one more thing?
Well, yes, I can. I don't remember how long I've known the Ingwins now. But this is Christy's first time here. And one of the things that I was sharing with Christy that I think would be pertinent for anybody in a practice to know is that the work that the Ingwins and Laura, their office manager, have put in over the years on leadership has paid huge dividends. And one of the things that they've done from day one is recognize, and I've said this already, but recognize the importance of culture and leadership. And when those two things are in place, everything else kind of tends to take care of itself. And they've put an extraordinary amount of time and attention, resources and effort in really developing their personal leadership skills, in developing their team's leadership skills. And so it's no surprise to me that they have just been wildly successful. They're a pillar in their community. And I think the biggest attribute I could say about them isn't about their dentistry. They're just great people. And they also happen to do amazing dentistry. And I think that's probably what's most important to them as well.
I love it. You guys, thanks for sharing. This is going to be the best segment of the year. I'm serious. This is the best. Okay, we'll see you next week. We're going to do more stuff next week.
Awesome.
Okay. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you, everybody. Great.
Thanks, Stuart. All right.
Okay.
Thanks for having us.
All right. Have a great day.
Enjoy the snow. Are you guys going to Utah?
Colorado.
Okay. Well, he just said they got like a foot of fresh powder last night.
I think Colorado did too. I hope.
Make it stop, Kristen. Make it stop.
They're preparing the powder for us.
Yeah, it'll be here.
Yeah. I'm going to get in the pool that day.
Nice.
Right. All right. Have a great day. Thank you.
Hey guys, thanks.
Bye.
All right, very good. Fun to connect with our Crown Council members from all across the country. Our next guest today on the Crown Council live stream is Ryan Moore from Kettenbach, USA, a new resource partner. We're grateful for Kettenbach and especially for their partnership in all that we do. I will warn you in this interview, Ryan is going to release an incredible offer to the Crown Council members at the end of the interview. So pay attention to the end and wait for him and the offer that is only going to be available to Crown Council members. So grateful for Ryan and thankful for Kettenbach. Very good. All right. Hey, everybody. We're on the live stream here with Ryan Moore, National Sales Manager of Kettenbach Dental. Grateful to have you, Ryan. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me, Stuart. Excited to be here.
Hey, we were just talking about our annual event a couple months ago. I can't believe it's been a couple months. And you said you're a new kid on the block, which is true. We're grateful for the introduction from Dr. David Hornbrook to have you as part of the group. As a recap for all resource partners, these are our partners. They're not vendors. These are partners who the membership of the Crown Council introduces to the membership as a group or a service or a business that have changed their practice and the way that they work. And Dr. Hornbrook, I've been to many young dentist programs with Dr. Hornbrook, and he is constantly talking about you and your products and how they're used in his office. So grateful to have you with us and thankful to chat just a minute today.
Absolutely. Great to hear.
Hey, Ryan, will you introduce yourself, just where you are and what you do for the company?
Sure. Yeah. My name is Ryan Moore, like you said. I've been with Kettenbach from the beginning of our U.S. Adventure. So that's a little over 15 years. So worked my way up through the ranks as a field sales rep. did very well in that, and was lucky enough to get into a leadership role about 2 years ago. I live right outside of Charleston, South Carolina, with my wife, my daughter, and just love the dental industry and all the exciting nuances that it presents. And excited to be here today talking with you, and really looking forward to growing as a partner with you.
Cool. Yeah, grateful for you guys and thankful for your attitude towards being a partner in Crown Council. Ryan sent me a couple questions that I'll use to kind of spur our conversation along. The first one is, Ryan, your company motto, Simply Intelligent. Can you talk to us about what that means as a customer, as a Crown Council member? Can you talk about that as your motto?
Yeah, so that motto really kind of sums up our mission, Stuart, which is to develop and manufacture dependable, reliable products that simplify the procedures within a dental office. So making your day-to-day easier and less stressful. So when you couple that with our direct selling model, what you get is a very, very strong value proposition.
Very cool. And when you're looking at all of your products, so what you guys are traditionally known for,
Right.
elastomer technology and impression materials. I think the last time I had you guys on the live stream, or when we talked last, there is a huge, obviously, rise of digital marketing, digital impression
Sure.
in the dental world. How are you adapting to that? How are your products changing and adapting to digital impression?
You know, we have an amazing R&D department. I think at last count, I heard there were 9 PhDs on staff, and these guys are tirelessly working day in and day out to bring new and exciting materials to the market. And, you know, our direction moving forward is to continue to develop a full line of restoratives, our resin restoratives, the ViSalus line, while continuing to discover new ways to simplify other areas of the dental practice and really increase the patient satisfaction.
Very cool. Very good. I have your website up. I might just share my screen here for just a second. We can look at some of the products. I always get nervous doing this, Ryan, when I share my screen because I've got multiple screens. I'm going to share the wrong,
Yeah,
the
I
wrong
made
screen.
sure everything was shut down.
Exactly. Okay, here's your screen.
Yep.
Okay, very good. What other product lines or materials should dentists be thinking about when they are thinking of you or hoping to work with you or calling to talk? Like, can we walk through? We don't have to walk through all of them, but
Yeah, we can walk through them. You know,
okay,
I
let's do
mean,
it.
yeah. So besides our elastomers, clinicians should really know that that Kettenbach is the source for reliable and predictable resin restoratives. So, you know, I'll just start at the top.
Okay.
I'm going to skip Profisil for a minute because that's kind of like the coup de grace there. So, Futar, full line of bite registrations, no matter what set time, rigidity you're looking for, it's there. Super rigid product that is designed to be the ultimate in precision, right? So you get a really detailed, precise bite registration that'll obviously result in a more accurate fabrication of the final prosthesis. So Panasil and Identium are our 2 lines of final impression materials. And you know, again, we talked about the digital market, but you know, I've had customers that have used us forever that, you know, just bought 4 iTeros last year that are still using impression material. We all know that it's still a necessity from time to time in an office. So whether you're using $10,000 worth of impression material or $100 a month, we still would love to have your business.
Nice.
Then QuickSplint. So QuickSplint is our newest acquisition. We actually gained global distribution rights in January of QuickSplint. So it's the one product that we don't actually manufacture ourselves. So what it is it's a temporary bite plane. So it helps you to diagnose bruxism or any parafunction, as well as relieve any jaw pain temporarily for the patient. Imagine you know, you're doing a cosmetic case with 10 veneers. You just threw some temporaries on and you want to protect those from the patient clinching or bruxing.
Mm.
This is a perfect thing to kind of put them into CR to kind of prevent your restorations from being destroyed while you have a permanent appliance fabricated. So, and then you got a full line of restoratives, right? You got your temporary material, you've got your core buildup material, permanent resin cement. All three of those are BPA free, which leads to a very, very strong material. Also a little safer for the patient. And then our newest line, I may have said something out of line. It's TempCore and SemCore, which are BPA free. And then our newest line of composites, which is Fill and Flow. So it's an amazing line of composites. It's got a flex shade system, which means that you only need 5 shades to achieve all 16 classic Vita shades because of the chameleon effect. Very high filler in this product, which makes it ultra strong, as well as ultra resistant to water absorption. So you're going to keep that nice shade that you intended versus discoloration over time. Mucoprin, which is a permanent soft reline, chairside soft reline. This material will remain nice and resilient without peeling out of the denture for up to 2 years. It really is more of a permanent solution than a lot of the competitors on the market. Very popular product. And then Airway Metrics, which is it's a system designed to help you determine where to position the bite when having a sleep appliance fabricated. So this is different in the way where it'll offer more vertical component than some of the other devices out there. We've kind of found that if you add some vertical component to a sleep apnea patient versus putting more strain and stress on the mandible, that you actually get the same result.
Very good.
So
Nice, Ryan.
Propicil, I left for last.
Yeah.
Propicil is our first venture into the preventive market.
Okay.
So we've actually developed a fluoride varnish gel free of ethyl alcohol and rosin. Okay, so ethyl alcohol is the component that generally gives the patient the stinging and burning sensation in the soft tissue. And then the rosin is the carrier that becomes sticky and clumpy and discolors, and it's really kind of described as having sweater teeth from a lot of patients. So without those components, we use a dimethicone gel, which leaves the patient with a nice, smooth, clean mouthfeel, void of all those nasty side effects that I mentioned a minute ago. And the patient is happy and gets to go home respecting the prophy that was just done with nice, clean feeling teeth.
Very good.
Yeah,
Nice,
so
Ryan.
that's the
Hey,
line. At
great
this
stuff.
moment. Yeah, thank you.
I know that oftentimes when a Crown Council resource partner joins along with us, we ask or hope that beyond just being a great product, being a great partner, that they bring a little more to the table for Crown Council members. Can we talk about that for a minute?
Yeah, absolutely. There'll be some developing, CE opportunities. We're working on some short CE clips to offer, 1 or 2 credits.
Okay.
And more on that in the near future. But for now, we're offering some pretty deep discounts to Crown Council members. You can expect a 25 to 30% savings over list price on any regular given day. And that is set pricing. That's not gonna change. But the amazing thing is that we also have an offer that is 50% off. So
Hey.
new members that have not used Kettenbach before can enjoy 50% off their first order, their entire order.
Wow.
And existing members that are Kettenbach customers can get 50% off any new product that they haven't tried before. So that is actually combined with a risk-free trial. So we offer 30 days to any product that you wanted to try. If you don't love it, we'll take it back. No questions asked. We'll pay for it to get shipped back as well. So there's really no reason for anyone not to kind of jump out of their comfort zone and discover their new favorite line of restorative materials.
That is awesome. Holy cow. So I will put that out to the Crown Council membership, both obviously today, and then we'll send this out via email to all the membership. But what an opportunity. Thank you. Grateful for you and thankful for, a long time ago, the Crown Council's motto used to be raising the standards of dental care. So that was early on in the Crown Council's purpose and mission. And I still like to refer to it sometimes. That is a thing that all Crown Council members and team members should think about when not only aligning themselves with Crown Council resource partners, but also just in their own practice. And this is a great way to do that. So great. Yeah, grateful for you. Let's get this message out to everybody. So thanks, Ryan. Anything else? Did we miss anything?
No, I mean, that we've got a website, obviously, KettenbachUSA.com. Visit that. There is a contact us button in the bottom left-hand corner. So if you want to try to find your local rep, you can easily do that there. Otherwise, feel free to call the 800 number or talk to any of our experienced customer service representatives.
Nice. Thank you, Ryan.
Thank
Grateful
you,
to have
sir.
you on today. Okay, thanks.
Absolutely.
All right, grateful for Kettenbach and all of our resource partners. Our final guest today on the Crown Council live stream actually comes from an interview that Steve and I did with Dr. David Montz. This is part of a larger project that we're doing where we are interviewing some of our mentors and members of the Crown Council about their experience building their practice. So what happens from the time they enter dental school, what they've learned in dental school, how they transition into building and creating their practice or professional career, and then on to their journey to what they've created now. So there's so many different paths that our young dentists are learning about, and we have asked our Crown Council mentors, some of our best, to talk about what they did and the experiences that they have. So this is not the full interview with David. I've edited and created some of the very applicable parts to hear from him, things that you can walk away with and share. But coming soon is a 12-part mentorship series with 12 different Crown Council mentors that each talk about their journey through dentistry and building their own practice and their own team. There'll be 12 of them, and we're going to release it as a mentorship series. So we're about halfway through recording all of them, and we're grateful for the time that these doctors spent sharing and contributing to the mentorship of the new rising generation of dentists. So grateful for Dr. David Montz and thankful for his willingness to share. All right. Welcome, everybody. I'm Stuart Anderson. This is our Crown Council Mentor of the Month, joined by Steve Anderson and Dr. David Montz. Hey, guys.
Good morning. How are you?
Very good.
Good day, Dr. Montz. Great
Good
to have
day,
you.
y'all. Thanks so much for having me. I appreciate the opportunity.
So maybe you can just start out with the journey. What directed you to dentistry in the first place and the biggest influences that you've had?
Well, Steve, I appreciate the opportunity. Dentistry was not on my radar at the beginning. I just wanted to be in healthcare. I knew that being a physician or a healthcare provider professional would give me purpose every day to just be with people and help people. Originally, I thought I wanted to be a pediatrician as I went through high school. And then when I went to Texas A&M University, I learned with working in different environments and mentorships and shadowing that I did not want to be a pediatrician. The parents and the serious gravity of the health of a child was just too emotional for me. So that kind of led me to a different start, considering dentistry late in my college years. I always kept physician in the background. I actually applied to medical school and didn't get in. I think it was probably because I had a really fun first semester at Texas A&M. But what happened was my mom is a dental hygienist and had been for many years. And I'd worked around and in dental offices to do little pickup lab work and little experience here and there about the smells of dentistry when my mom came home and put her jacket in the house. And my uncle was a periodontist, and he actually happened to serve as the president of the TDA when I was in high school. And I remember all the accolades and stories that he shared when we get together at grandma's house. And I just knew that what they were doing, they enjoyed the people, they enjoyed the relationships and the satisfaction of just working with people and providing the services and skills that they offered. Dentistry was just one means to just being with people, helping people, and realized that, man, they had a really good work-life balance. Dentistry offered a good balance at home, a good balance of hours, and it had great opportunities to not only go in business for yourself, but to also enjoy that opportunity for good income, to have have good quality of life. So that was really my influence. My mom, my uncle, the life of dentistry offers many things, many relationships, and here I am.
Very good. When you look back on your time as a dental student, what were some of the biggest lessons learned, whether it was as class president or from mentors, or just when you left dental school? What do you remember that stood out for you that you've carried with you?
Many things, Stu. Dental school was intense, and I learned that right off the bat, it was a team sport. If you did not collaborate and get together with your friends, your buddies in dental school, going through the grind of dental school, it would be harder more than it would be easier. We all basically worked towards a common goal. We just shared all the same intensity and struggles. And I learned real quick that not only was it a team sport with your peers, it was a team sport with the supporting faculty in the building that made it all happen. I also learned that mentors are so important. There were good professors that really cared and took you aside and really were good teachers. And then there were those that weren't so good at teaching. But you had those trusted advisors and mentors that really helped you with questions. They helped you with good advice. And they also gave you that push for motivation to get through dental school, which was pretty intense. I also learned that learning never stops. You're just safe when you leave dental school. You're safe enough not to be dangerous, I would say. They teach you the bare minimum just to get it all cranked out, but you still lack that confidence to know really how to treatment plan and manage patient care and the scary, unhealthy patients, and certain procedures can be kind of daunting right off the bat out of dental school. So I realized that once I graduated, I had much more learning that I needed to seek out to get better, to master what I enjoy doing. The other thing I would say takeaway would be dental school taught me, really, it compounded my belief in perseverance, because everything was so hard. You just had to push through some of the demands that were built upon you every day. You had to push up. The schedule demands were heavy. The clinical dentistry being so new and daunting and nerve-wracking, you had to persevere. You had to push yourself through it. There were days you wanted to quit. There were people in our class that quit. They just could not hack the heavy load of the academic side, the clinical side, and the people side. They just didn't realize they had to deal with people. So that was kind of interesting. But I would say that those are the main things I learned in dental school. It was the people and the formation of relationships and the perseverance and the learning that never stops.
Very good.
So practice journey. You've had a fascinating practice journey. Maybe you can just give us a quick snapshot of where you started straight out of dental school, and then the Pearland expanse. You dominate your area, the dominator. But where did it all start?
Well, right out of dental school, I thought I was going to jump into some job, right, as most dental students do. But then I also considered the opportunity to be part of a pretty brand new program at UT Dental School in Houston. They had an AEGD program, Advanced Education General Dentistry. And I was asked and courted to be part of that. It was in its second years of an existence when we had me and 5 other classmates became part of that program. We actually got to help that program be shaped. And so I jumped right into that. And that was really a great experience where we just did a lot of general practice setting in the school. We saw a lot of complex cases. It really built my motivational desire to do more and learn more. And we learned how to get more confident in our clinical skills. We were, we get to walk around dental school like we owned the place with white jackets, and we felt you were the guy. But that was really, really amazing. And on Saturdays, when I jumped out of dental school, while I was doing the residency, I also worked in a Medicaid clinic here in Houston, just on Saturdays, just to make some money, so I could eat, pay some bills, also learn a different side of dentistry. With that experience, I learned that I did not want to work in a clinic. I worked there for about 1.5 years.
Yeah.
But it also taught me the different highs and lows of the experience that is offered in dentistry.
Mhm.
So that was straight out of school. And then after my residency, I should say the middle of my residency, I had the opportunity to buy a dental practice from the widow of a dentist that actually my mom had worked for like 20 years prior.
Wow.
The orthodontist next door to the practice was my mentor, one of my mentors in school. And he suggested I go talk to the widow. The dentist had died a year prior from cancer. He had left it kind of in shambles. There were 3 doctors. They tried to come through there and buy the practice, but all of them had very major personal problems, from drug use to infidelity to debt. And none of those 3 people in 1 year stuck.
Wow.
So this doctor's wife was so desperate. I say desperate. She was ready to wash her hands of the whole thing. And we sat down one night. She made me an offer and I accepted. And I said, here I go. So that was the beginning of the Pearland journey that had 75, I would say, somewhat active patients. That
Wait,
office,
75?
75 active.
That's it?
That's it.
David, that's not a practice.
No, it was not. It was a.
Did anybody tell you that?
It was a tomb. I had
75?
2 mentors. Again, mentors are important. I had Dr.
That-
Larry Swetlick and Brian Satterfield come to the office.
75 may be a church potluck dinner, but it is not a dinner.
It was slim pickings, Steve. It was really weak.
Wow.
And the office was, let me just tell you, when I bought this office, let me tell you about it. It was orange, yellow, and green with
Nice.
orange shag carpet on most of the walls.
Yes.
Cabinetry
Wow.
was red and yellow and green, and they had red cabinets. There was a typewriter. There was a pegboard scheduling.
We might need pictures of this for the.
Oh, I do have pictures of all this.
Good.
It had a sterilizer that was just a dry heat clave oven, cold sterile, no computer, no copier. It was paper heavy. There were ashtrays in every single operatory.
Holy smokes. I'm
It was-
surprised she didn't pay you to
Well,
take it.
let's just say I think I got a pretty good deal.
I think you did.
And she owner financed it, and I said, off I go. So the middle of my residency, literally February, the middle of my residency, I went to school, did my residency commitment, came to Pearland, worked and saw patients when I had 6 to 9 o'clock, 3 nights a week. Then I drove an hour home over to Richmond, Texas, where I lived, and did that for 5 months until I got out of my residency.
Love that.
Yep. And I had
It-
1 employee. That was it. Part-time.
Nice.
So in terms of, you took 75 patients. Today, you have, I believe, well over 10,000 active patients. Did I get that right?
That's close, give or take.
So take us from 75 to 10,000. How do we get there?
You show up early, you work hard, and you don't do stupid stuff.
There's
You-
the David Montz formula.
That's
for
it. Thanks,
success.
everybody.
That's it.
Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Good night.
I love that.
Good night.
It,
That's
it
so,
takes-
I mean, that's it.
it takes a lot, Steve. You basically have to be flexible. You have to show up and work to build your brand. You have to really get out there and form relationships, and you have to be sincere. The sincere intentions of the best patient outcomes is where you start. If you build that sincere trust with the patient, you'll build those relationships, and then those relationships that you build with patients create the all-powerful word of mouth experience that sends you more patients. You also have to hustle. I call it hustle. You have to get out there, be involved in your community, build your brand, keep it present. You have to really get going with being involved in your community so that people know you're a dentist. They get to know you personally. And that just gets you out there to form other relationships that have nothing to do with dentistry, whether it's youth sports or church or community involvement or just being present at, gatherings with your friends and being social. I would say all of that with a lot of hard work and showing up early was a great thing to do. I also joined some groups with some local dental specialists, got to know the orthodontist and the pediatric dentist, and you actually court them being a new dentist so that they'll take a chance on the young dentist coming to town and form a relationship with them. And, I spoke at schools. I did school presentations for kids. I did community health fairs with senior citizens. I advertised a lot in the old school way back then, newspaper ads. Remember newspapers?
Oh yeah.
We did a lot of youth sports teams, sponsors on the back of the shirt and the banners in the outfield and in the rafters of the gyms. And you did church bulletins and you do all that print media back then because there was no internet back then, Steve.
Right.
I'm older than Google. So,
I like that.
So there were no Google AdWords. There was no SEO. Yeah. You had a website? No, there was no website. The website was a great, nice new thing coming down the road when I first started. So everything you had to do, you had to put your face out there. You had to be out in front of the public to get going and then just build that word of mouth trust in advertising.
I've always said there's a lot of different ways to be successful in dentistry, a lot of different business models. I love the way you've done it. You are the dentist in your town. Name recognition. You've been there. People know you're there and they know you're going to be there. You're not going anywhere. And part of the reason they know that is you live in the community where you work and you are embedded in that community. I mean, you don't just show up at the office, you show up everywhere. Will you just quickly share your school board journey? Because I think it's indicative of the way you operate, but it's also indicative of your just whole philosophy of life is not just making a living, but creating a life. And a big part of that is doing good in the community. You've done that amazingly well. So was that by intent or did that happen? Talk to us about that.
I think it was something I took on because I had some really powerful influences in my life who did that. My dad was very involved in the community. He Cub Scout master. He joined the Economic Development Council. He did a lot of things at the church. He did lots of volunteer stuff in the community to build things and design things and plan things. My grandfather was the same way. He was very involved in his local town of Elgin, Texas. He was a businessman locally and did a lot of things with the church, a lot of things in the community. So they were my role model. And so my journey as school board member was I had four kids and they were all, 2 years apart. My wife and I were pretty busy with that. And I actually am thankful to return to my hometown where I grew up in Friendswood. And I had a great experience at a great school district. And so as my kids came up in that same school district and I got more information on what was happening in our schools and being part of that was very fun. My wife was the PTO president for a couple of years. So the momentum built in the knowledge of what it took to run a school district, a local school district. And it involved having good people on board to make great decisions for the greater good of all the students in the school district. So I went to a few meetings. I petitioned for a few causes that I thought were interesting and dear to my heart and realized that the process was different. School board governance is completely different than running a business. Let me tell you that. So I joined, I ran, there was a board member that decided to step down because her son was pursuing an acting career in LA and she wasn't going to run again. So I met with her and filed for the position and got on in 2010, and still on today.
Wow.
13 years later, I'm still got 3 more years in this term remaining, and it's been a very fun, rewarding, educational, frustrating experience. There's just a lot that takes to run a school district, and you have a greater appreciation for the process of governing locally with a very, very microscopic and important group and cause. The school is our community. Friendswood pretty much revolves around the school district.
Yeah.
And so I would say it's pretty influential to be part of that and be part of contributing to that. I've enjoyed
Well,
it.
and to be able to stay on as long as you have, because it's, you know, we did a function for the school board here in our town, and the superintendent said to me, you know, we really appreciate you doing something nice for the school board members, because all they hear is the worst. They're the ones that get the phone calls at night. They're the ones that everybody complains to. They never hear anything positive, right? Everybody's always, you know, throwing stuff. And so but to stay in that for 13 plus years it's a remarkable accomplishment to be able to do that. That's amazing.
It is. I'm thankful that I've never had to have a campaign. I've run unelected every single time.
Uncontested.
Uncontested. Yeah.
Not unelected. You have
uncontested. Uncontested, because if I was unelectable, I wouldn't be here probably.
Yeah, you're like Gerald Ford nobody ever voted for him, but he became president of the United States.
Luckiest guy, I guess luckiest guy ever. I don't know.
I don't know.
But yeah, the school board's been amazing. I've met many people around the state. I've advocated at the state level with our local congressmen and senators and representatives. And you meet so many fantastic people who are doing some great things. It's been very rewarding. It's been very rewarding to see it grow and change. And you become part of not only the kids' future and their success, but you also get to build upon the great facilities at the school district and have a hand in that. It's been a lot of time to do that position. It's 2 to 3 meetings a month or more, not to mention the phone calls and the emails you get. But it's all about time management, really, to make that happen. And again, the greatest thing out of it is seeing the kids thrive and the relationships you build, and feeling good about giving some great stuff back to the community and you know, paying that forward for the people that took care of me in that educational process here in Friendswood.
Nice.
So
Right up, I'm going to throw you a curveball. You ready?
ready.
I've told you this, but you are one of my great examples in my life of how to deal successfully with adversity. And for those who don't know, David Montz is one of dentistry's experts on how to completely shut an office down, secure it, and then reboot it overnight and be back in business. So if you don't know where Pearland and Friendswood, Texas is, it's right outside of Houston. So you got all the hurricane activity. We had everything that happened around COVID, but you have become very skilled at shutting an office down completely, securing it, rebooting it. So the David Montz philosophy around adversity is what?
Dealing with the chaos in a patient, solution-minded manner. You could freak out, you could cry, you could ignore it, but I would tell you that you just have to roll with it. You just have to go. And if you don't face it head on, if you don't lead through it, you will be a victim. I choose not to ever be a victim. I also always be prepared for the worst. That could be a tragedy in your life with the office, personally, professionally, whatever. Hurricane that's barreling down on your facility that could cause power outages and floods. COVID, which will be locked down for 2 months. We've lived through so many crisis situations here, and preparedness has been the key with a lot of patience. Patience meaning how other people are going to react in your office, your team, fear of the unknown, the fear of loss, the fear of lost opportunity, income. Do I have a job? Are we going to be okay? When is this going to be over? Are we going to have an office to come back to in the middle of a heavy storm? It's just, I would tell you that just be as strong-minded and patient and to get through those things, and create a plan. Think ahead. That's the best advice. Now, first couple crisis things we've dealt with, we went ahead and did the best we could. And then you learn from those things, and then you improve and you improve and you improve. And so now if something were to come up, I think we have it all figured out, from the facilities to the equipment to the people, how to communicate that to the people. That's the key. Communication is the key.
Very good.
You maybe real quick, you could just share lessons learned from Katrina, because not only did that impact your practice, because of your position in the community, you were front line of the community effort to, I mean, basically your entire town got flooded.
It was Harvey. It was Hurricane
Harvey,
Harvey.
I'm sorry, not Katrina, Harvey. Yeah.
2017. It was quite the couple of weeks of crazy. Not only was our community impacted by heavy flooding, which caused a lot of people to lose their homes and stuff. We were all shut down pretty much with no electricity. Some people had electricity, but what we did was we rallied as a community after that event of that August 26th, that 2017 night, where we just took a new role on of helping others. The storm came through, it dumped 54 inches of rain in 2 days in our community and surrounding Houston. And the entire greater Houston area was affected. And we're talking flooding from way north Houston all the way down to the coast, all the way west to the east. What we did as a community is we had, well, it's a long story I've shared with you and Greg before, but
Yep.
The morning after I got pretty well rescued, unnecessarily, and we won't go into that today, but I got back to my house, and within 15 minutes of being home and taking a shower, getting all the creek water off of me, my superintendent called and said, "Hey, I need you to go up to high school and get it ready for a shelter for these people. We're going to open up the cafeteria for a shelter." So I said, "Oh, okay, I'm there." So I got up there, maybe 2 people were at the door. And by the end of that night, there were over 300 people in that cafeteria, 120 of which were nursing home patients.
Ooh.
I do say patients because it was a legit nursing home with lots of medical needs and mental health needs. And not only did we start with a bucket of towels and about 3 volunteers, by the end of that first day, I think we probably had 120 volunteers with food and medicine and blankets, and everything was just communicated by text because there were limited access to get anywhere. People who lived close by in the neighborhood would bring things. And so this whole thing evolved into a 4-day ordeal where we just took things head on as a community. And I was there 12 hours a day in shifts, helping just to facilitate whatever came up, from getting people rides home to managing medicine lists, the nursing home, to providing food. We had the police chief commandeering medicine at a local pharmacy by martial law to get stuff for patients. It was a really amazing coordinated effort that basically happened on the fly. There was no plan. There was no emergency operations plan for this. It was just a bunch of great people coming together, me included, to take care of the crisis of the people who had major problems. And it was a great week of learning and dealing with a lot of people. And I've still had some great relationships with those people that I never met until that day, who were part of that responding team that made that happen.
Wow.
I remember you sharing with me, and I think this is just added deal because you exemplify this, of what an interesting experience it was interacting with your patients in the weeks and months following that, of just observing the different attitudes that people had. Some that were devastated, whereas somebody right next door who had the exact same thing happen came in and they're ecstatic because they get to redo their house.
The
All
emotions
different
were everywhere,
responses.
Steve. We had people who lost everything with no insurance. We had people who were happy to remodel their house. We had people who lost their spouses in the middle of the thing because they couldn't handle the stress. And I could tell you that everybody was so on eggshells about each person's unique experience in dealing with that storm. That storm lasted in people's minds for a good year.
Yeah.
People's homes weren't ready because of the number of homes, the amount of damage, the number of people displaced. It went on for quite a while. There's probably still a couple homes I'm saying that aren't quite done, but it was hard. It was a lot of shifting mindset to not only welcome them to your practice and take care of their needs, but be very delicate about where they are financially, emotionally, spiritually. And I will tell you, dentistry is not just about teeth, as y'all know. It's really about that personal touch, relationship, counseling patients, talking through people. Sometimes you just say, look, this cleaning today's on me, and for your kids, we'll catch you next time. This is on the house because you need a hand up. We're going to give you a hand up.
Nice.
Amazing story.
Yeah.
All right, Stu, I think we're in for our favorite final question. David, this is our favorite question. We always ask it at the very end.
All right. If
Go.
you got to meet young David, maybe what, 20, 21, what kind of advice are you giving? Are you telling him, hey, here's what you should do different. This is what I would do the same. What does that time machine look like for you?
Wow. You know, I ask that myself sometimes, what would I do different? I can't say I would do much different in my experience, given the fact of the things that I saw in front of me, and I took those risks. There were many things I look back upon along the journey of growing my practice that I kicked myself for not doing more. But being young, I really have no regrets. I really had no regrets going through school, at dental school, and the experiences I did. I'll tell you that personally, I originally thought I wanted to be an orthodontist, but problem was during dental school, I was married. I had 2 kids during dental school. I was class president. I lived an hour, 40 minutes to an hour away from school. And so to be an orthodontist and be a guy in a community where girls were more getting in those positions in the orthodontic program, I did the very best I could, but I did take too much on. I also had a part-time job that I worked sometimes after school, all 4 years of dental school. So I spread myself too thin in order to be academically perfect, to be that orthodontic resident. For me, looking back on that, I think God said, no, David, you don't need to be an orthodontist. That's wasted talent. You need to be a general dentist so that you can serve more and you can enjoy those lifelong relationships with patients who've been coming to see you for 27, 28 plus years.
Wow.
So those things are, thank God for unanswered prayers. Sometimes you think back and looking at that, but advice for people getting out of dental school and coming into the profession, I would say that I have a lot of life lessons, and I prepared for this question because I think that I wanted to be clear so I could be helpful.
Nice.
Benefit, it needs to have benefits. So I would say getting out of dental school, decide where you want to live. First, decide where you want to live and practice your craft, because that's where you will find the most happiness of getting to know your community and your surroundings, and you can enjoy a little life around the aspect of what you want to do. I would also say that once you do decide where to end up, dive into that community and get involved, embrace it, and just, if you're a community kind of person, a social person, find the community that you would thrive best in. Again, back to the show up early, work hard, don't do stupid stuff. Remember that every day, because you get tempted sometimes not to do those things. Keep a very good, positive attitude. Always show that for your patients and always show that for your team. A team around you in dentistry is the biggest thing for success in your business. you build that team, you love on that team, and you respect and treat them as equals in the one common goal that you're there for. Show constant gratitude for everything that they do for you and for the patients that y'all serve. That's so important. You have to do that very often. Obviously, find good mentors to tell you if the 75 active patient practice that you're going to buy is worth a darn. Because without mentors, you will feel alone, you will feel trapped, you will feel stupid, you will feel like you just don't know what you're doing. And those mentors will bring you grace, they'll bring you advice, and they'll get you through that moment, that tough case, that tough patient, that tough whatever that you experience, because those people have been there before and they've lived it. And that's so powerful to cut through that emotional waste of time when you feel lost. Mastermind group, if you could get a bunch of dentists who are in this with you, then you could have good collaboration and keep each other afloat in that bit. I would say that having new dentists like you to talk to on a regular basis who are going through some of the similar challenges or different things that they're doing will help sometimes make you feel better. And oftentimes you can share many things that will help them. So it's a two-way street with mentors and masterminds. So those things really are very powerful, really, to help get you further along. Those are some things that I would say the new graduates should think about. And obviously,
maybe everybody ought to think about.
Well, yeah. And just keep learning. Keep learning. Go learn business, because they don't teach you business in dental school. And if they do teach you business in dental school, it's surface level. You really don't care. You're trying to get through your requirements. You're trying to, get through the institutionalized setting. But the business of dentistry is so untaught in a modern way, in a good way. So those are some big things. And I'll have to mention, really, I will tell you, what would I do different sooner? I would get a practice coach sooner. Got to figure this stuff out on the fly when you're getting out of school. You have that DDS degree, you think you know it all. But again, the practice coach could have set you up faster, because you don't have a grasp on what you don't know until you know what you don't know. And the team around you can make or break you. And with that practice coach and with their experience and with their direction, really could propel you better. Pay the money, invest in that so that it gets you further along. I would call it light speed, like Star Wars. Just, it will propel that part of your knowledge so better and so more efficient without having to reinvent the wheel all the time.
Love it. That's a textbook right there. Everything you just mentioned. Thank you, David.
Thank you very much. That's great. I mean, I'm happy to share that. I hope it can connect with some people. It's just what I would say to be the highlights of what I would do and know to do different or the same.
And you live it, which
you live it every day.
You live it. David Mons lives it. Makes all the difference. Thanks for sharing, and thank you for who you are.
Thank you, Steve. I appreciate that. It means a lot to be part of this series. I'm happy to share. I'm happy to show and tell my story. Everybody's story is different, but each story is powerful. The key is just keep living, keep going, keep pushing. And you will have a great, successful journey in this life we call dentistry, and in life in general, from the benefits of those relationships and experiences that you get to share and experience in dentistry. It's a great profession. I'm so thankful to be part of it. I'm so thankful that 2 of my children are in dentistry as well, and passing that down into the future of what dentistry is going to be next. God only knows.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, David.
Thank you, guys.
All right, that's it for today. Thanks for joining. Grateful for the all you who have been part of the Crown Council live stream. We'll see you next week with all new content and all new people from the Crown Council community. Thanks, everybody.